was almost a representation of the pace of the river flowing through the landscape.
But they were...
The odd moment of frenetic action on the white water, which, you know, like the rape scene would represent, and maybe the banjo scene would represent. But for the most part, it's just the guys on the river just drifting. I thought the pace was really appropriate.
It probably could have worked if the characters had been stronger. As I said, if you're going to go at that pace, which is fine, you need to justify it. And although the story held up, the characterisation didn't. You didn't really care about what happened to these guys. I didn't anyway. There was no resonance with the characters.
That is interesting. Now, could that be, Nathaniel, that you just didn't like them as people? So the characters were well drawn, but you just happened not to like them as people?
Yeah, that's it, but you can only speak for that movie from personal experience, can't you?
Yeah. Because I don't really think you were meant to like them.
Well, there was nothing really to dislike about them either. Not, you know, overtly anyway.
There was an arrogance there.
There was.
That they were going to conquer nature.
Yeah, there was. That might rub some people up the wrong way, admittedly. Me being one of them, I guess.
It sounds that way.
Yeah, but the point is that I didn't resonate with the characters. Are you saying that you did?
I don't know if I've got anything in common with them.
Well,
however,
they're all white.
Well, I mean, apart from those kind of things, apart from the trivial, but I didn't find them uninteresting. I didn't find them tedious characters.
Right.
I wouldn't want to go for a pint with them.
Right.
You know. But I didn't find them a problem.
Right, I see what you're saying, yeah. That's fair enough.
And what about the ending, Nathaniel?
Loved it. Probably the best part of the film.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I thought that was the kind of thing that set it apart, really. Gave it its oomph.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really say much about it.
No, that's it. We don't want to kind of spoil it for people, do we? But, suffice to say that I think the majority of film-going audiences like a nice, clean-cut conclusion, don't A happy ending, a violent ending, a sad ending.
Yeah.
But conclusion. I'll leave it there.
It was brave and intelligent stuff, I thought, the ending.
Yeah.
And I'll say no more about it. What do you give it?
Well, I'm going to give it quite a high score, despite my berating of the characters, because it was a well thought out film. It was incredibly well shot, and it's worthy of its cult classic status. I'll give it 8 out of 10.
And you know what? Maybe this is only the second or third time it's happened. Despite the bumming, 8 out of 10. Okay, this is the part of the show where we discuss something topical. And this week, we're talking about a politician getting herself in a spot of hot water. Home Secretary Theresa May has been criticised for claiming that an illegal immigrant avoided deportation because of his pet cat. She told the Conservative conference the ruling illustrated the problem with human rights laws. At last, Nathaniel, someone speaks the truth.
Couldn't disagree more. I've got quite a few points I'd like to make against the utterances of Theresa May.
Off you go.
To me, it's a no-brainer. Theresa May should be removed from office.
Right.
Are you familiar with Occam's razor, Richard?
I am indeed.
For those that don't know what it is, the simplest explanation is most likely the correct one.
Correct.
Point being that Theresa May is clearly a racist white supremacist. Have you seen her?
I have seen her. I wasn't expecting that, Nathaniel. I have seen her.
Well, we're not meant to judge books by the covers, are we? But you know what? Most often we can. And again, I cite Occam's razor. That woman has clearly never been to an Indian restaurant. She's one of these old school racists who won't even try pizza because it's foreign muck.
Are you saying that Theresa May dines only on boiled potatoes and roast beef?
Well, she's probably got more in a lock of mat. I mean, the boiled potatoes might be a bit Russian for her or something, I don't know.
I guess. Or Irish.
Yeah, maybe roast potatoes. But she doesn't stretch far from the English cuisine, let me tell you.
No spices.
No spices.
Oh dear.
Maybe a bit of salt and pepper. She's feeling a bit fruity.
So besides her culinary choice, Nathaniel.
Yes.
I've got to say, it's a bit tenuous.
I've got more.
Go on.
She compounds her position even more by completely ignoring the welfare of the cat. Are we supposed to ignore that feature of the story, Richard? I mean, I'm sure...
Who cares about the cat?
I care about the cat, and so does the man in question. I'm sure that man in question loved and nurtured that cat, and now we have to remove it from that loving environment and sling it in some animal's home. Isn't it typical that we degrade animals in such a way?
Nathaniel, clearly you've never owned a cat. Cats don't care about us.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
They're aloof. They're wanderers. They take.
So when they jump on your lap and start purring...
It's for warmth.
They might just be happy.
I don't know. Have you ever owned a cat, Nathaniel?
I've never owned a cat.
Well, there we go. There we go. You're just speaking about something you've got no experience of.
Well, obviously I know lots of people have owned cats. And I'm very familiar with what it takes to own a cat and love a cat and to see that relationship work.
I know lots of people that have been to Greece. I've never been to Greece. Therefore, I don't know what Greece is like.
But it'd be just like you to spout an opinion on it.
Is that the best you've got? The cat and the fact that she eats boiled potatoes?
I've got more, Richard.
Go on.
I think simply because the man is from Bolivia, he should be kept in the country. I don't know about you, Richard, but I've never met anyone from Bolivia in my life.
I have met a Bolivian.
Have you?
I have.
Tell me more.
He was objectionable.
Was he?
He was loud, rude, arrogant.
Did he tell you about lechon?
Oh, no. Educate me.
Lechon is a roast suckling pig.
Sounds delicious.
I'm sure it is.
that pronunciation, Nathaniel, what's that?
Lechon?
That's the one.
It's just
Where's that coming from?
It's just me going into my South American mouth.
Okay, right.
I like to say these things accurately.
That's new. It's a new technique.
It's just the truth. I say keep him in the country, Richard. Give him enough money. Start up an animal refuge. He can serve this country well by providing a wonderful service, looking after unwanted cats. Keep him in the country.
Immigrants are overrunning this country, Nathaniel. They're like parasites, sucking all of the goodness out of this nation.
I don't agree with you, Richard, at all.
No immigrant has ever worked hard for any British money they earn.
What about the people of the NHS?
They sit around on their greasy backsides, drinking tea, trying to fit it. They think by drinking tea they're blending in. They stick out like sore thumbs.
Well, if you've got any principles at all, Richard, next time you go for an operation on that bloated gut of yours, and there's an Indian doing the operation, tell him to piss off back to his own country.
Nathaniel, this isn't racist.
It's
not before you get on your high horse.
I'm already on it.
This is about territory.
Whipping it.
This is about territory, Nathaniel. Territory as bestowed by God.
You're an absolute buffoon, aren't you? I don't know where you get these ideas and these opinions from. I'm sure your parents didn't instill these into you. Where have you learned them all from?
British soil...
What has society done to you to make you this way?
British soil, Nathaniel, is British soil. It's not soil for the Poles and the Pakistanis and the Romanians and the Estonians to come over here and piss on.
I thought the earth belonged to God.
And God has decreed where people should live. He's determined the nations of this world, Nathaniel, and Britain is British.
Britain is British, my
Britain
God.
is British for the British.
I,
For the white British.
I find it hard to counter such a well-reasoned argument.
I'm English, Nathaniel. I love my country. I won't see it ruined. I simply won't.
Well, it wouldn't be ruining it to let a few Bolivians in the country, would it?
I don't want to see any Bolivians. If I go through the rest of my days, Nathaniel, and I never set eyes on a Bolivian, I'll die happy.
Well, you might be pleasing out the Chilean contingent there, because they're bored with Chile, aren't they?
Are they at war?
When you visit there, yes.
Are they at war, Nathaniel? Answer the question.
I don't believe they're at war at the moment, no.
Right. My grandfather fought in the Second World War. My great-grandfather, he fought in the First World War. And for what? Not so that we could end up being renamed Englandski, that's for sure.
Well, I'll be happy to have it renamed Englandski if it makes it a better place.
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all, Nathaniel, because you don't give a damn about tradition or heritage. You're an intellectual fraud. You're a moral coward. You make me sick.
Okay, thank you.
Nathaniel, Jesus told us, shun those whose countenance is irregular or deformed. I think we all know what he meant.
Are you trying to say I'm deformed, Richard?
I'm talking about the immigrants.
Are you talking about the immigrants now?
The immigrants. Don't take this personally, Nathaniel.
I thought you were having a jibe at my pointed chin.
No, I think you've got a lovely face. For all of your faults, you've got a lovely... I've told you this before. I've told you this on air before, I'm sure.
Oh, we all remember...
Very attractive man.
We all remember your confessions a couple of weeks ago.
No, that was a moment of weakness. Moment of weakness. Every night and every morning, Nathaniel, I pray for an end to mass immigration.
Well, I think your prayers are falling on deaf ears, Richard.
They certainly seem to be.
Long live the Bolivians.
And that's all from Passive Aggressive this week. We'll be back next week. Or we certainly hope to be, Mr. Colander, you prick, when we'll be taking a look at a movie on current release, as well as a movie from the archives, and tackling another hot issue of the day. Good night.